Today I'll be showing you how to factorise single brackets. To factorise, we find the highest common factor and put it outside the bracket and put what's left inside the bracket. So we're basically doing the opposite of expanding, as we're wanting to put it back into a bracket form. So let's start with this question, 3x plus 6. So we worry about the numbers first, then we worry about the letters. So we have 3 and we have 6. So I know that the highest common factor of these two numbers is 3. And then if we look at the letters, well, x is only on one of the terms, so x cannot be a factor, so it's just going to be 3. So it's going to be 3 brackets. Now what we do is we divide each term by 3. So 3x divided by 3, well, that would be x, and then 6 divided by 3, that would be 2. So we'd get 3 outside the brackets and inside x plus 2. And we can check this by expanding it out. So we'd get 3x plus 6. And that was what we were trying to factorise at the start. So therefore, it must be correct. So that is a good way of how to check your answer. Okay, next question. So from now on, before I show you the solution, I'd recommend you pause the video, have a go yourself, then play the video and watch the solution. So for this question, we are doing 5y minus 15. So I know that the highest common factor is 5. So we'll do 5 outside the brackets. And then we've only got a y term for one of the terms. So we know that y cannot be a factor. So if we do 5y divided by 5, that's going to be y. And then if we do negative 15 divided by 5, that is going to be negative 3. So again, let's expand it out and check it. So it'd be 5y minus 15, and that was what we're trying to factorise, so the answer is correct. Okay, next question. We have 7a plus 14b. So again, let's think about the numbers first. Well, I know that 7 is the highest common factor. And now let's look at the letters. So is a factor of 14b? No. Is b a factor of 7a? No. So it must be 7 on its own. So we get 7 brackets, and then 7a divided by 7, well, that's going to be a. And then if we do 14b divided by 7, that's going to be 2b. So we can expand this out to check it. So we get 7a plus 14b, and that is correct. This time we have 8y minus 20. So this time the first number term is not a factor of both of them, so we need to work out what the factor is. So let's write down the factors of 8. Well, 8 is equal to 1 multiplied by 8 and 2 multiplied by 4. And then 20 is equal to 1 multiplied by 20, 2 multiplied by 10, and 4 multiplied by 5. So now let's see what factors they have in common. Well, they have 1 in common. Do they have 8 in common? No, because 8 is not a factor of 20. But they do have 2 in common, and they have 4 in common. So looking at this, 4 is the highest common factor, so we can have 4 on the outside of the brackets. So now let's look at the letter term. So does y go into negative 20? No. So we know it's just going to be 4 on the outside of the brackets. So 8y divided by 4, that would be 2y, and negative 20 divided by 4, that would be negative 5. So let's expand this out to check it. So it'd be 8y minus 20. So yes, the answer is correct. Okay, next question. So we've got negative 6x minus 9. So I know that the highest common factor is negative 3. If you didn't know that, you could write down all the factors of negative 6 and negative 9 and work out which one's the highest common factor, like I showed you how to do with the previous question, but this time I'm not going to do that. So if we look at the letters, x does not go into negative 9, so it's just going to be negative 3 on the outside. So let's divide negative 6x by negative 3, so that is going to be 2x. And let's divide negative 9 by negative 3, and that's going to be positive 3. So now let's check the answer. So negative 3 multiplied by 2x, well, that's going to be negative 6x, and negative 3 multiplied by 3 is going to be negative 9. So therefore, the answer is correct. Next question. This time we have 10ab minus 15a. So first of all, let's work out what the highest common factor of 10 and 15 is. Well, I know that is 5. So now we need to work out the highest common letter factor. Well, they both have a in them, so we know it's going to be a, as we can divide both terms by a. So now let's work out what goes inside the brackets. So if we do 10 divided by 5, that is 2. And if we do AB divided by A, that is going to be B. as a divided by a is 1. So now if we do the negative 15 divided by 5, that's going to be negative 3. And if we do the a divided by a, that's going to be 1. But you don't need to write the ones down, as if we're multiplying anything by 1, it's going to be the same. So you don't need to write that down. It just cancels it out basically. Okay, next question. Okay, this time we have 4x squared plus 12x. So I know that the highest common number factor is going to be 4, as 4 goes into both 4 and 12. And then the highest common letter factor is going to be x, as they both have at least one x in them. So, what multiplies by 4x to x squared? Well, that is going to be x, as 4x multiplied by x is 4x squared. And now if we do the 12 divided by 4, that's going to be 3. But we don't need to worry about an x, as 4x multiplied by 3 is 12x. So that is the final answer. Okay, next question. This time we have negative 9y squared minus 12y. So I know that the highest common number factor is negative 3, as that is the highest number that goes into both negative 9 and negative 12. So now let's think about the letter. Well, this is going to be y. There is at least one y in each term. So negative 9 divided by negative 3 is going to be positive 3. And y squared divided by y is going to be y. So now let's do the same with the negative 12y. So negative 12 divided by negative 3 is going to be positive 4. And then we don't need to worry about a y, as negative 3y multiplied by 4 is negative 12y. So now we can double check this. So it'd be negative 9y squared, which is what we wanted, and then it's going to be negative 12y, which is again what we wanted. So by expanding it out, we've checked that it is correct. Okay, so now we've got a challenge question, so it's trickier than the ones we were doing before. So what I'll do first is think of the highest common number factor. So I'd write down the factors of each number out. So 18, we have 1 and 18, we have 2 and 9, and we have 3 and 6. For 24, we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, and then for negative 30, well, I'm just going to worry about the positive factors for now. So we have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and 5 and 6. So now let's have a look for the highest common factor. So there's a 6 in 18, there's a 6 in 24, and a 6 in 30. So 6 is the highest common factor. And if you didn't know this, you could work this out by thinking, does 18 go into 24 and 30? No. 1 does, but that is not higher than 6. 2, yes, it goes into all of them, but again, not higher than 6. 9, does that go into 24? No. And then again, 3, it does go into 24 and 30, but it's lower than 6. So we've worked out that 6 is the highest common factor. So that is a good way of how to work it out. So we know that 6 is the highest number factor, but now let's think about x and y. So for x, it's going to be 1x, because that is the highest common factor, as the second and third term only have 1x. And again, it's just going to be 1y, as in the first term there's only 1y, but there's at least 1y in the other terms as well. So this is what we can use. So 18 divided by 6, that's going to be 3. X squared divided by x is x, and y divided by y is 1, so that cancels that out. So then we do 24 divided by 6, which is going to be 4. And then x divided by x is 1, so it cancels it out. Y squared divided by y is y. And then negative 30 divided by 6 is going to be negative 5. And then x divided by x is 1, and y divided by y is 1, so that cancels it out. So the final answer would be 6xy outside the brackets, and then inside the brackets we would have 3x plus 4y minus 5. So again, we can expand this out to check it is correct. So 18x squared y, yep. 24xy squared, yep. Negative 30xy, yep. So the answer would be correct. So that is the end of today's video. If you found this video useful, please leave a like. Factorising double brackets will be uploaded on Monday, so stay tuned for that. So subscribe so you don't miss it. Click this video that YouTube recommends for you so you can ace your exams.